Okay, I'm going to continue checking on page 9 with skill review. In Skills and Strategies 1, which is found on page 2 of your book, you learned several strategies to help you figure out the meaning of new words. You were told to look for words, phrases, and punctuation that signal a definition. You were also told that sometimes you may find the word defined in a sentence that follows. We're going to find the words and phrases and put a check next to the type of clue the writer gave. Some of these we checked while we were reading. So let's look for the definition of physical border in paragraph 1. We already found it. So physical border is in this sentence, and the definition is in the next sentence. So for that one, we want to check definition is in a sentence that follows. I don't have a check mark. I don't think I have a check mark. Let me see if I have one. I do. Okay, so let me mark a check mark here. Okay, that's where we would mark it. Now let's look at political borders, also in, which is in paragraph 2. Political borders, the word is in the first sentence, but remember the definition was in the third sentence, line between countries that governments decide. So for this one, we need to mark in a sentence that follows. So it wasn't in the next sentence, but it was in another sentence. How about check, paragraph 3? Here we have the word check. Check, that is, take a careful look at. So the clue in this case was the word that is plus a definition. So check means to take a careful look at. Let's look at tax, also in paragraph 3. Here is tax. There is a tax on things that enter the country. A tax is money that you must pay to the government. So in that example, did we have or? No. That is, in other words? No. Punctuation? Nope. We had a definition in the sentence that follows. So just as a review, there's the word tax, and then definition is in the next sentence. All right, finally, shore, paragraph 4. Here we have the word shore, a dash, and then the country's border with the ocean. Remember, we said a dash was punctuation. Punctuation can be or a dash depending on the situation. Now this chart is completed. In this vocabulary development section, you can also use the glossary in the back of your book, the dictionary in the back of your book. It starts on page 260 of your book. Page 260 of your book has all the words that you need to learn that would be listed in this part, okay? But you can also try to find the words in reading 1. So something you can see or touch, an adjective from paragraph 1. Something you can see or touch. Something that you can see is physical. The correct definition here, the correct word here to complete this, of something that you can see or touch is physical. Physical means something you can see or touch. For example, if you say someone has a physical problem, they have a problem that you can see. Could be a problem with their leg or their arm or something like that. Okay? If there is a physical barrier, a physical block for the parking lot, it means there is something you can see and touch that you cannot cross. Number 2, are an important part of something and are easy to notice, a noun plural from paragraph 1. This word is features. Features means something that is an important part of something and easy to notice. For example, the features on our face are our eyes, ears, nose, mouth. Okay? Physical features are mountains and rivers. Sometimes we also use features to describe the important parts of something, like the features of this car are a hybrid engine and leather seats. Okay, or the features of my phone are a large battery size and a good camera. They mean parts, important parts. Okay. Number 3, a line is the closest distance from one place to another place. Which word could go in this? So here we see, we can use the word for this one, straight lines on a map. You see that word, straight lines on a map. So straight lines are lines in between two places. Let me give a couple other examples of straight. You often hear straight when we are giving directions, like go straight for 2 blocks. It means go the fastest way, like the most direct way. Okay, do not turn. I could also tell if my kids are going to school or to the park, I could say, go straight there. Don't go anywhere else. Go directly there. Okay, to something is to have power over it. Paragraph 3. To something. To check something is to have control? No. To check something is to have power? No. Maybe to control something is to have power. That one makes sense to me. So that is actually correct. That one is to control something, is to have power over it. For example, I control my children's bedtime. Okay. The government controls Harper College. It's true because Harper College is a part of the state of Illinois government. Number 5, a person who has government responsibility is a, paragraph 3, is a, what? Government official. So that is a word, official, which can also be a noun, a person. An official is a person who has government responsibility. So for example, when you go to the airport, security officials check your documents. Number 6, are valuable things that belong to a person, group, or country. This word is resources. We can guess it from the examples of fish and oil. We know oil is something that is very valuable. So resources are valuable things that belong to a person, group, or country. So there's a different word, resource and source. But resources are usually things like oil, gas, things like that. Number 7, the air or sky above a country is, paragraph 5, the air or sky above a country is the airspace. The airspace. That's actually kind of a technical word that we don't always use, but that's what it means. Okay, for example, sometimes when we hear about a conflict, an international conflict, people say one country entered the other country's airspace. Number 8, if you allow people to do something, you give them, paragraph 5, permission. And this was something we studied with the vocabulary earlier. You give them permission to do it. Okay, let's look at the last part, which is synonyms. So here we have 8 vocabulary words and 8 sentences. The officials looked over the traveler's papers. Notice that this is a past tense verb, looked. So maybe our answer will also be a past tense verb, like I see 2, checked or requested. Which one means more like looked over? Hopefully you said checked. Check and look over are similar. Number 2, there is a or an place in the store where children can play while their parents shop. Which word has a similar meaning to place? Could it be borders? Borders is a place, but it doesn't make sense to be in a store. Probably area. Area is the best because it is more general. Area means more like a general place. Number 3, the children picked up rocks as they walked along the land by the ocean. We know the land by the ocean is sometimes called the beach and sometimes called the shore, S-H-O-R-E. We learned that one this semester. The student asked permission to take the test on a different day. So here we see again another ED, We already used checked, so we could use requested. Requested permission to take the test on a different day. So request also means asked. You should always look in both directions before you go to the other side of the street. Let's look at the 4 words we haven't used yet. So we already used area, we used checked, we used requested, and we used sure. So sometimes we can just use the process of elimination to try to decide. So before you borders the street? No. Before you cross the street? I think so. Freely the street, tax the street? No. So cross means go to the other side. Number 6, in some countries, people cannot move around easily. They must ask permission to go from one city to another. So we have borders, freely, and tax. So when you see that easily ends with ly, that means it's an adverb. The other one that means the same also ends in ly. So easily means freely, in a free way or an easy way. Number 7, some countries have had wars about their lines between countries. We know lines between countries means borders. And the last one, in many cities, you must pay a money for the government on cigarettes. That would be tax. I hope these videos were helpful in understanding the first reading.